is the number one.
The desert. This is where I come to be alone. Surrounded by very few living things, each of which have seemingly made a truce with this unforgiving environment. This tends to stoke my misanthropic tendencies. In 2021, I was invited to join a group of canyoneers in the Mojave. Canyoneering requires teamwork. So I grabbed my helmet and harness, and I hopped in my truck headed to Southern California for a meetup in the desert. Death Valley, here I come. A decommissioned campground just outside of Death Valley became our base camp for the weekend.
On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rain.
We parked our cars at the lowest place on Earth, near Badwater Basin, and began our ascent up the Black Mountains. There was over 2,000 feet of gain on the approach, and a good amount of exposure looking out over the playa. But with a little persistence, we made our way to the top of the alluvial fan. It was time to gear up and build our first anchor. Natural anchor building skills are a necessity because drilling bolts into the rock is illegal in Death Valley.
See the bottom.
This 190-foot rappel served as my intro into canyoneering Death Valley. Despite being primarily a team sport, each canyoneer is still responsible for their own safety. You have to get good at inspecting anchors for both wear and proper setting. This is especially important here in Death Valley. UV rays will destroy the webbing in no time. Self-rescue techniques are also each individual's responsibility. At the very least, every canyoneer should know how to lock off and unweight the rappel device. After a strong day in the canyon, we bagged up our ropes and headed back to camp for a celebratory beverage. After an unusual late-night storm and below freezing temps, we set out for our next canyon. And to be honest, I was beginning to enjoy this group atmosphere. The approach on Abysmal was especially brutal. The team struggled with every step to find footing on the crumbling rock. However, the climb is worth the price of admission. Once again, our team geared up and made our way to the first rappel. Our group decided to tack on the additional 5 rappels of the South Fork for a total of 22.
Prepare yourself, you know it's a must. Gonna have a friend in Jesus. So you know that when you die, He's gonna recommend you to the Spirit in the sky. Won't recommend you to the Spirit in the sky. That's where you're gonna go when you die. When you die.
Many of the rappels required a soft start because of the fragile nature of the required anchors. This means to slowly add weight to the rope by pressing your body against the rock for maximum friction. Once again, because of the sun exposure in Death Valley, we needed to replace much of the webbing. And we finally arrived at the most anticipated drop of the weekend, a 265-foot rappel using a fiddlestick, which is a retrievable anchor system that leaves no trace once the rope is pulled.
Never been a sinner, I never sinned. I got a friend in Jesus. So you know that when I die, He's gonna set me up with the Spirit in the sky. Won't He set me up with the Spirit?
As night fell on our team, Abysmal Canyon had lived up to its legend. 11 hours in total and 22 rappels completed, our team was finally making our way back to camp. Death Valley can be a hard place to love, but it's a great place to run a canyon, or to be alone. Your choice.